Hello, Praise Charts friends. Ryan Dahl here, and I am online with my good friend Keith Getty. Keith is always a great interview. Let me tell you, he's got so many great stories and so many more great songs. Just a whole team of songwriters that are writing new hymns for this generation. We're going to talk about some of the best ones that came out from their last Sing Conference. What an incredible recording. So let's bring in Keith to the show. Here we go. Keith Getty.
I am not worthy to be here. The music, the trailer music that you have coming onto this show has
Yeah.
just over the years it's got gradually cooler. You started off like kind of like worship music friendly, and now you've just got cooler and cooler and
Yeah.
cooler. By the time I arrive on the show, me with my picture of J.S. Bach behind me, I feel unworthy. So
Yeah.
what an unworthy privilege to be on Praise Charts.
Well, Keith, I tell you, I never quite know what to expect when I'm sitting down with you, whether it's in person or on these shows. So it's like press the wild card, see where this goes. So here
Well,
we
I
go.
will say this: being both sons of the Commonwealth, I
Yeah.
am dressed like a Commonwealther in my rugby shirt because
Yeah.
ask what nation have just become the world's number one nation at rugby.
Wow. Wow.
Ask me the question: what nation have just become the world's
Oh,
number
ask
one?
you, what
Yeah,
nation has become the top in rugby?
it's funny. I wasn't expecting you to ask me that, but
I
Ireland are
know.
now the world's
No
number
way.
one rugby. Yeah, we
It's
are.
like
So
I've been thinking about that all night, and here I am now with the opportunity to ask you.
well, you know. So why am I not wearing an Irish rugby shirt? Well, I just picked my nearest rugby shirt because I felt like a rugby shirt kind of
Yeah.
day. It's out of key with America, but I guess when I'm talking to a Canadian,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of leeway.
Yeah. Well, Keith, we're going to go into all these songs, but before that, I know I was just sitting in that very office that you're sitting in that little home. The Getty home is like it's organized chaos. That's how I describe it. Tell me a little bit about the organized chaos in your home. It's just kids running everywhere, people running school activities, all that kind of stuff, and all these hymns just come out of that world. So,
Well, you're so kind. I would say the organized. I would definitely say organized in terms of my wife and
yeah.
Elizabeth who owns the property, and it is pretty well organized, but it is chaos. I'm a father to four young girls,
Mhm.
and we have a lot of fun. But we had the privilege of being able to purchase the old home in the south. One of the old homes in the south side of Nashville, which allows us to do these retreats. So last week we had we had 12 writers here. We had Matt Papa, Kristen and I, Matt Papa, Matt Boswell, Matt Merker, Jordan Coughlin, Brian Fowler, Laura Story, Sky Peterson,
Wow.
Ben Shive, Sandra McCracken, all these people just taking different corners of the house with a piano or a guitar and writing and co-writing. Duane Hill joined us for a day. A bunch of other people joined us for days at a time,
Uh,
and it was just extraordinary. So it has that chaotic feel of there's always creativity happening. And
yeah.
when we bought it, we called it Little Lee. It was built in 1907, and so it was a red brick home similar to the house Little Lee that C.S. Lewis grew up. And Lewis said, "I discovered imagination at Little Lee." So when this home of a similar time as an old Edwardian home became available, we thought if we would get it, we would call it Little Lee and dedicate it towards people's imaginations being inspired, whether it's our little girls, whether it's us coming back from a trip, or whether it's all these crazy musicians coming. And one evening sent a note out to all our bluegrass friends and players from Union Station, Buddy Green, all these bluegrass players came for a bluegrass jam at 9 o'clock at night. Blessing Offer turned up and did like a 30-minute set for us just at the house. I
Oh,
mean, it was chaos. In fact, what's his name? Steve Cropper turned up. One of my neighbors, one of the greatest guitarists of all time, sitting in the dock of the bay. So
yeah.
yeah, there's always people coming through, bringing creativity and always a fairly high degree of madness.
I think that's a good word just for us all to remember that the best of creativity comes out of a little bit of chaos as well.
I think
So,
it's joy. I think it's joy, and I think
yeah.
it's it's joy and the right habitat. So I think if you're joyful about stuff, if you're excited about the music you're creating in church this Sunday, if you're joyful about it, if you can't wait, that's a
Yeah.
good thing. One of the songs we're talking about, Lord Almighty Reigns, my friend Jonathan Ray from Ireland called me up and he said, I've found out our church have just chosen Lord Almighty Reigns this Sunday. He says, my body is already excited and
Oh
joyful
yeah,
about do
for
that this
sure.
Sunday. So when you get to that point, God has made us feel in such a beautiful and an intricate way that the songs we sing in Sunday should be bringing joy and gladness to our congregation with all that they're doing. As we pick songs, we should be imagining where they're at in their lives,
Hmm.
where the things that they're going through, and knowing that we have this peculiar privilege to, by the songs that we choose and download and lead in a Sunday, that
Hmm.
they can bring people such incredible joy. But also, it's creativity as well as people. I'm definitely on the extrovert side of things. Most creatives are introverts. I'm certainly not one. But being with people, finding the context that helps you create well. And I know
Yeah,
last week we did a bunch of songs, and there's not one song that owed its creation to the genius of one person. It was
right.
a bunch
It's a
of people
community.
having a blast, throwing ideas out, and just constantly creating and making better. And I'm certainly thankful for the people that I'm around. Thankful for the people we get to work with in life, and I think if you're leading the music at your church, it's both a combination of how do we make sure the music teams at our church, the choir, whoever it is, are more excited about music making in the church this year than last year, and then that will spill out to how do we as a congregation enjoy Sundays.
Hmm. Well, here's what I want you to do, Keith, is I know you just came out with this new package. I mean, some of them have been songs that have been recorded before, but the Sing conference that you were just a part of, you collect them together into this album. We're going to look at this together. And I feel like, could you just be like a tour guide and just walk us through some of these great new songs that we can bring into our church? I'm going to show you through some. I know you've got a couple that you want to highlight. So you just talk away. I'm going to click into the songs, show some of the resources that we have, and you can talk a little bit about the heartbeat behind them, the melodies, the theology, the lyrics, all that kind of stuff. So, where do you want to go
Well,
first?
well, first of all, I will say I moved to my computer at the last minutes, which I just pulled into this room because my phone wouldn't work,
Yeah.
and I've only got 2 minutes left on my phone. So if you lose me, you
Okay.
lose me for because I'm going to go as fast as possible.
No
The,
problem.
the first track in the album we talked about before, the first track is called "The Lord Almighty Reigns," and we did it
Yeah.
with "Blessing Offer." I think you guys have been working mostly through the version from the Crash Open Life and Death album. This is a better
Yes.
version. It lets you hear it in a much more live. Blessing Offer just as a way of doing things that is just amazing. So
Yes.
if you get a chance to hear that version, it really does set it up. It's a song about it's a song. It's the final hymn in the whole Bible, the final song in the whole Bible, the whole final song of history, where all the creation will sing, "Hallelujah! For the Lord our God, the Almighty reigns."
Yeah.
And so it's a wonderful perspective, isn't it, to be singing that song, but also the longing in the song. There's an endless song waiting to be sung with the voice of every tribe, the sound of every tongue, and then in this version, um, you get a blessing sings, "We will join the feast, rest from battles won." Just thinking of his journey in blindness, I think was very moving. Tell with great rejoicing all the wonders God has done, and like the roars of mighty seas, the rolls of thunder. Then the final verse, if you go down to the final verse again, it's looking at heaven, but it says, "Certain of that day, Christ will proclaim, oh, that more will share the prize, salvation of his name." It's not simply enough about one of these when we all get to heaven kind of hymns. No, it's
Hmm.
actually, it changes how we live in this earth. So it's a great hymn. It's a great hymn to open a service. It's a great hymn to close a service, but it's also a great hymn for mission, for
Yeah.
evangelism, to help us remember that as well. And as I said, really excited about Blessing's version. It then goes on to the song "Rejoice," and there's a new version of that. We literally asked anybody if they could sing it. Everybody turned us down. We were so desperate. We had to get Shane and Shane to sing with us on it, and so that was a joke, by the way, folks. So we at our conference every year, and they're always making fun of me on stage.
Yeah.
So this
They
we
deserve
talked
it.
about this one. It's a call to worship. It's Philippians 4. It is such an important. We feel this is the most important song of the year because with the Gen Z kids and the level of anxiety everywhere, this is taking that passage. Do not rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Do not be anxious for anything, but by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And sorry, just that sense of the opposite of anxiety is praise,
Yeah.
and to be able to see that and to remember on a Sunday that we're helping people. If people are left to themselves or they're praising themselves, they're going to end up in anxiety. It might be anxiety to be the best and be even more successful than you are, because John Paul Getty was once said, how much money is enough? And he says, he said, just the next dollar, I think was his phrase. But we all, however successful we are, we're just creating a world of anxiety. But actually resting in Christ and what He has done is something which is far greater. So rejoice is, if you're looking for a song that's got substance and it's an opening song, rejoice is definitely the best one.
Love
We
it.
had the one wonderful, we had the privilege of having City of Light at the conference, who are just the most incredible bunch of Australians. Again, like Canadians, like Irish, we're all Commonwealthers. And we combined Only a Holy God with Holy, 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 which was fun. It's up at the top of your page. Go back up to the
Do I
top.
have that there? Oh, there we are. Good.
Only a
Okay.
Holy God with City of Light. And then we combined it with Holy, Holy, Holy. It was a really special moment in the conference. But again, just an extraordinarily song, asking questions and answering, just beautiful, beautiful music, like everything Rich and Johnny write. The fourth song on the project is a song of Sky Peterson's. I want to recommend this song. Say a
Right.
couple of things today. The fourth song, "Love Still Bids Me Welcome." That's actually an English poet, George Herbert, had a famous poem, "Love Still Bid Me Welcome," and it's really a song you can use it a number of levels. You can use it as a song about repentance if you're a liturgical church. You can use it as a song about forgiveness. You can use it as a song of healing. You can use it as a song of invitation if you're doing an evangelistic service. You can use it as a communion song. Oh God of grace, how often have I grieved you? How seldom have I sung your praise? Little do I know how much I lead thee, and time again I turn away. For how my heart is hard and unbelieving, for all I've done and left undone. Again, coming from the
Hmm.
creed. Your love is not reluctant to receive me. My soul draws back, but love says, come. Then this chorus, He will not cast you out. He will not cast you out. Whoever enters in will forever dwell with Him. Draw near, faint heart, draw near. Love still bids you welcome here. That's the poem. And it is talking about confession of sins, forgiveness of sins, and a welcome back and the loving arms of God in the most inviting way possible. Kind of the way Andrew Peterson, her dad, over the years has made grace so irresistible. I think she's done the same thing. And I need to say, Sky and Kristen are releasing a new single coming
Hmm.
out tomorrow. Um, uh, I Am Not My Own, it's called. A wonderful song about the fact that we're not our own, but we're bought at a price. Such a simple message, such an important message, but I think possibly the most radical song to come out for 2 to 3 years. So watch out for I Am Not My Own. It is a vital song. And I think Kristen and Sky are going to come on the show, aren't they?
Yes, for sure.
That will be amazing. So make sure you
Yeah.
click into that. I'm a load of rubbish. I just talk nonstop. But they actually have something to say, which
Yeah.
is which is cool if you want. Um, Quickly, I should also mention we recorded on the album this year two of the Papa Boswell songs from 2 years ago that have something of liturgy, and I love them both. There's the Lord have Mercy, which is the Kyrie, which is a
Yep.
really beautiful song they did with Sandra McCracken that was amazing. And then they also did a song called "The King in All His Beauty" with a gospel choir, slightly more contemporary by their style. But if you're looking at the creation of the Lord, if you're looking at something to do with creation, you're looking at the arts. You want songs that appeal to the creative in your community. This is Matt Papa and Matt Boswell at their really best, at their absolute best.
Hmm.
Absolutely gorgeous song. So highly recommend it to you. It was from their first album. It kind of got missed in the Russian clamor that everyone had to use "Mercy Is More." They missed this extraordinary song. But if you're looking for 6 songs for this year off this new album, that's my sixth pick.
Love it. Thank you for the tour. And you know what I love about where you're at in your life right now is it's not just about, Keith and Kristen Getty writing songs, but it's about you building this community of people. And even your home is just like a hub for people to come together, sing, writing songs. You are enabling and freeing up this whole new generation like Sky. I mean, I don't know how old Sky is. She's just a young
Turned
gal.
20. She
Oh my
turned 20.
goodness. We're talking a 20-year-old young girl is
Yeah.
coming together and writing hymns that, are for our new generation. It's just so awesome.
No, it's a privilege. I don't know if we're really orchestrating them coming together, other than just being. I think we're just another generation of Irish party planners, to be honest. But we'll take it. We'll take your encouragement. And you know
Yeah.
what? You know what? Enjoy the creatives in your churches. Enjoy the
Yeah.
younger people. Create spaces that Sunday can be the highlight of their week.
Yeah.
Create spaces that music making can be fun. Bring together brilliant people from different places and encourage them to join together. It is rare that brilliant people together are not stronger for their friendships. Often in
Hmm.
churches, especially sadly in our evangelical churches, there's unsaid jealousy
Yeah.
and competition. And of course, all of us are competitive with each other as part of our makeup.
Hmm.
But but we're all stronger together, and that's what we find with that group. Everybody has done better because of just all getting together and having a blast.
Love it. Keith, you inspire me so much. Appreciate your friendship. I appreciate the joy and spunk and a little bit of chaos that you bring to this world because super inspiring. So I love it.
Ryan, we look forward to it, and I hope you have a great time with Sky and
Yeah.
Kristen. As I said, I'm not my own most important song to come out for the last 3 years.
All right, I'm gonna put them on this screen. It'll be three of us, bing bang boom, right there, and we'll share all the stories from their side. So look forward to that. This is Ryan Dahl, Keith Getty from Nashville, Langley, British Columbia, and I hope that you will go and grab all these songs from the latest collection from the Sing album. And I cannot wait for the next set of songs. I mean, you're already writing new songs for the new conference. Is that what you're doing?
Sing conference, 3rd to the 6th of September. Sing the Great Commission. If you want to sing,
All
if you
right.
want, let me just say something about that real quick. We're starting with a concert at the Ryman Auditorium. It's starting with Ryman Auditorium concert. Then we're at the Bridgeton Arena. So it's going to be a big, massive,
Mm.
in the round arena of singing. It's going
Hmm.
to be a really special time. We got everybody from City of Light coming back over to the choir room with Duane Hill doing a late night. The whole place singing 4-part gospel style, and preachers from Platt to John Piper, and Papa and Boswell recording their new album. So you can be credited as being part of their new album if you want to as well.
Wow.
So
Wow. They're
consider
going to
being part of
record it live in the
yeah.
stadium there.
Late in the Monday night, they're recording it live in the stadium, and there's a big wall over in the exhibition center where everybody writes their name up, and that's going to be part of the graphic and branding of the whole thing. So
Love it.
sign your name as part of it, be part of that. It's going to be a really fantastic time, and you better be there this year, doll. You missed
Okay.
it one year. Do not miss it.
I won't. I won't.
If you can go and hang out with all your swanky friends at CMPA, you can come and visit. You can come and visit your old blue collar Commonwealth
Yeah.
friends like.
Trust me. You bring the balance to all my swanky friends. That's for sure. So, okay. Thank you, Keith, for the time you've given. I'm so glad we were able to pull this off, and I really look forward to Sky and your beautiful wife next week. We'll do a nice.
On behalf of all of us, thank you, Ryan, for all you're doing. All of us in
All right.
church music are better off because of what Praise Charts are doing.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Well, I do it in cooperation with great people like you. So, all the
Cheers,
best.
man.
Thank you, Keith.
All
Have yourself a great week. See you then.
right.